Hey guys, I'm back here again to do a new classical review video. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I do want to really get back into the swing of these because, there's a lot of good classic and cult classic horror films that I really want to talk about. So I'll probably be doing another one of these this week. Probably on Friday is when I plan on uploading it because, like I said, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I really want to get back into doing them because I really enjoy doing the series, checking out cult classic and classic horror films, and I want to start focusing more on, films that they're considered classics, but they're overlooked, and cult classics as well. And this film, I think, is definitely a cult classic movie. This movie was released in 1981 and was directed by Lucio Fulci, and the film is House by the Cemetery. This is the old diamond DVD that I got in a package. There's the disc, which I really like the artwork. And I know that this movie is available on Blu-ray from Blue Underground, and there's been several re-releases of it, but, and I know that this DVD is in kind of bad shape, but I personally like the artwork for it. Just the black and white, just cool dark photo. I really like that, so, so I don't mind having this DVD. I might upgrade it eventually, but, I'm fine with this one. But, yeah, this movie follows a family of three. The movie follows the father named Norman, who they live in New York. He lives in New York with his wife Lucy and their little son Bob. And Bob looks to be about 6 or 7, I would say. And Norman has to go to Boston to research about his ex-colleague who had previously murdered his wife and then committed suicide. And no one's really sure exactly why he did this. And so Norman really wants to, he wants to go to the house that his colleague was in doing research about something, very secretive research. And Norman wants to go there just to try and find the answers as to why, someone that he knew ended up going insane and killing killing himself and murdering his wife. So him and his family are planning to go there. From the very beginning of the movie, you can tell that Bob sees things that his parents can't. In the beginning of the film, their son, Bob, he's sitting there in his room, and there's a painting up on the wall of this old house. And a little girl appears in one of the windows of the house and tells him not to go to the house. And then when Bob tells his mother, of course she doesn't listen. And, this is one of those typical things of, the kid can see something that the adults in the film can't. Bob himself, he's a little boy. He's got a, sort of a blondish, he's got blondish hair. But the thing that sticks out about him, and I've heard so many people say this, is his voice. So a lot of people have said that they think his voice is kind of annoying in some way. I'm not, he's just a little boy, so I really don't want to, say anything bad. But I think I've also heard that perhaps his voice was overdubbed by someone else. I'm not quite sure because I really don't know a whole lot about the making of this movie. So if anyone does know, let me know. But I've heard by a lot of people that they just don't like the way that his voice sounds. It's very, very high pitched, especially when he screams. It's really, really high pitched. But yeah. So of course Norman, his wife Lucy, and their son head to Boston to find an old house to stay there for a while so that Norman can do research. And when they're there, hang on one sec. Yeah. At the beginning of the film, they have to get the keys from this woman named Mrs. Gittleson, I think is how you pronounce her name, and she's the one that actually she knows about the history behind the house, and of course she wants to completely, she wants to forget. She's one of those people that just wants to forget about it. The original name for the house was the Freudstein house is what they call it. I believe that's how you pronounce it, the Freudstein house. But she's one of the people that they just want to forget about the house's dark history, and she doesn't tell Norman or his wife anything about the home. But as the film goes on, you of course begin to discover that the home's dark secrets. By the time the family does get to the home, they start discovering things, and for one, different strange things. Like on their way to the house, Bob sees a little girl that he saw in the painting once again, and she's across the street, and only he can hear her speaking. And so he gets out of the car as his parents are inside, getting the keys to the home, and starts talking to the little girl, and you find out that her name is May. And of course, when the parents come back, the little girl's gone, and Bob keeps telling them, oh, I saw this little girl, and she gave me this, she gives him this little glass doll to play with, and of course they don't believe him. But from the point they get to the house, things of course begin to start happening. It's a really old house. It pretty much looks like the way it does on the cover right here. It's a really old house, really dark and gloomy. And the wife, Lucy, automatically notices that it looks exactly like the house that is in the painting that was in Bob's room. And of course Norman just says, oh, well, a lot of houses were built the same way. But, as they get in, they find out that the cellar is bolted shut. And, of course, there's cobwebs everywhere and things like that. And the house there hasn't been anybody in it in years. I don't want to give a whole lot away because I want, things to be surprising. But, as things go on, things start happening that, of course, leads the boy, Bob, to believe that there is something else inside the house, with Lucy telling him different things. Also, there's a woman that comes to the home named Anne, who is the babysitter, she says that she was hired from the woman that owned the house and gave them the keys to the house. And I cannot, for the life of me, really know what realtor. Yeah, that's who she was. That's who they got the keys to the house from, was the realtor of the home, that I assume owned the house and then let the family move in. But but the woman Anne just automatically appears, and from the second she appears, you notice that there's something between her and the father. They both sort of stare at each other for a second, and that could be a number of things, but you just know that they have had a connection in the past, or they know each other from somewhere. But as things start going on, of course, strange things start happening within the home, and it's just people start getting knocked off, and yeah, I really don't want to get too far into this. I know this review is a bit kind of just all over the place. I'm trying to give a brief description of the movie without giving away full details about it, because I know a lot of people, they want to be able to go into a horror film without knowing what's around every corner, and I really didn't want to give anything away in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on the movie. Now, this is definitely one movie that is considered a cult classic, and I think the main reason why is because it's really one film that I don't think everybody's going to love. This is one movie that I recommend reading up on more, or just trying to get more information about it before you go see it, because this movie is definitely not for everyone. Of course, it was done by Lucio Fulci, so he's really well known for having great atmosphere in his films, and this movie really does have a good atmosphere. It's really dark, really creepy throughout the film. And also he's known for his gore effects, and there's amazing gore effects in this movie. A lot of the death scenes in this film is more in the line of a slasher film in some ways, even though the killer, doesn't really use a knife a whole lot. There's scenes where, at one point he kills a woman with a poker from the fireplace. There's different cool death scenes in it, and the gore and blood looks really good in it, and that's one of the high points of this movie. As far as the acting goes, the acting is good. I think it could have been a lot better from everybody, including the little boy Bob, because he only has a certain facial expressions that he uses throughout the whole movie. And like I said, his voice, again, I know that I'm a bit nitpicky at his voice. Again, the way he speaks is just kind of high pitched and everything, and it kind of, it kind of brings you out of the film a bit. But so again, I really don't, I've heard, he has a really annoying voice, and I can't really say that because he's only 6 or 7, and I don't want to be harsh on the kid, but it's just really high pitched. But honestly, I must say this is a really well done film. Like I said, it's on the cheaper. It's on the I would say it's on the cheap made side. You can tell that effort was put into this movie a lot, but it's really not a high standard horror film, in my opinion. I'm sure other people might disagree with me, but when I was watching this, I just kind of kept thinking, that this movie is a bit on the cheaper side, but that's just me. So, all in all, I would say check it out. I really cannot recommend this movie to everyone, like I said. This is one movie that is an acquired taste. You're either going to enjoy it, and that's usually what happens with cult films. There's a group of people that really enjoy it and really love it, and then there's other people that really just despise it. It's really not a great movie in any way, in my opinion. It's a decent film, and it's one that I would say look up more about it, and if it sounds interesting to you, then I would say give it a chance. But anyway, guys, that was my review for House by the Cemetery, and I know that I didn't go into a whole lot of detail about it, but like I said, for these reviews, I don't like to give a whole lot away. I like to start the story off and give you guys the premise and the plot of the movie, and then stop, before I even really get into what's going on, and there's a lot of different things that I didn't go into, and for the people who have seen the movie before, I know might say that I didn't really go into a whole lot of detail about it, or I might have left some stuff out, but, I really just didn't want to give anything, I just didn't want to give away too much, and, I really hope that if any of you out there watching this has been interested in seeing this film, I hope that my review helps you guys in deciding on whether or not you want to see it or not. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know down below if you've seen House by the Cemetery and what you think about it, and if you think that it's worth other people checking out. Thanks everybody for watching my videos and subscribing. Thank you guys for sharing my videos around. It really means a lot. And I will be doing a lot more of these classic horror reviews as well. I hope that my next one will have more detail, because like I said, I know I didn't go into a whole lot of detail about this one, simply because I'm just kind of out of it today. But I do plan on doing putting more effort into my next review, so stay tuned for that. And I've got a lot more videos planned, so stay tuned for those. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.